What is up, Church Media Tech fam? So glad to see you. I am your host, Michael James, ready to talk about PROPRESENTER 7. Let's go. So, first of all, PROPRESENTER 7 came out last year, don't know what time. Our church uses Easy Worship, but I have recently been playing with the free version of PROPRESENTER, and I must say, I love it. It is great for mostly everything. So many things that you can do with PROPRESENTER 7. Now, the one thing that I wish kind of would change a little bit would be why doesn't Easy Worship do what they do? So on some things like themes, great tools in PROPRESENTER that you can use for your church that Easy Worship has some of, but not all of. And we're going to talk about that today on today's show of Church Media Tech, PROPRESENTER 7. So let's get right into it. Alright, so right now we are in PROPRESENTER 7. I have a few songs imported, not much been done with, but yeah. So, like, importing a song is easy. If you have Song Select, you just sign PROPRESENTER into your Song Select. If you don't, however, there is a pretty easy way you can do this and run really nicely with PROPRESENTER's feature of importing text from other places. So, import, let's go here. We're going to go to Safari, because I'm on a Mac in our studio, or my bedroom, my home studio for Church Media Tech. And we're going to look up, and this is pretty much easy, how to import a song with no CCLI. Because I know a lot of the smaller churches don't have, Song Select if you're a small church. So I'm going to type in, we are the free. Hold on. Let me just do this one then. God of Calvary, Chris Tomlin. God of Calvary. It should come up, Chris Tomlin. I'm going to bring my microphone closer. Alright, so these are the lyrics. You just look it up. You copy and paste the song, like I'm doing here. We're going to copy. Alright, now you can go ahead and close your browser. Now you can do this in Chrome, Windows, PROPRESENTER runs there. And we're going to import. So we're going to go to the top. We're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Import. Now, import text from clipboard. Alright, it's going to kind of give us this. Unless you want everything bunched up, you're going to want line break. And I do one line per slide because it normally overlaps and makes two. So that's just me. That's the way I run things. So we're going to do that. We're going to import the song into PROPRESENTER. Alright, it's importing. On the hill of Calvary, but you can just name it by left clicking or right clicking on it, hit rename. Let's see. So we're going to rename it God of Calvary. And it's really simple. You can format it. I like to add in the blank slides. Switching slides is super easy in PROPRESENTER. Easy Worship has this same kind of, not by default, but you can make it the same kind of layout. And I've given you a little tech tutorial before on Easy Worship, but you can go watch their videos on that. They're pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. So that's how you import a song into PROPRESENTER 7 if you don't have Song Select. Now, for us, since we are a small church, we're in that predicament where we don't have song select readily available. Now, you will want to go in and put, of course, by going to the editor, put the CCLI in, or the publisher at least, so like Chris Tomlin. Well, that would go under artist, but anyway, you get what I mean. So I'm going to copy that. Copy. Nope. Okay, whatever. Artist. Chris Tomlin. And when you're done, now that will appear if you tell it to, but I will put mine there, and you can always disable that slide or whatever. You're legally supposed to show it, and we do all the time. We show it at our church. But yeah, that's how to import a song into ProPresenter 7. Next up, I'm going to show you how to configure your screens. And by doing this, it will show this live output here on your main front of house screen. And if your computer supports 2 screens, we can do stage view out to your stage display screen, which is pretty simple. Or you can even do a network device feed for lower thirds of lyrics and send it out into OBS, which I think is super duper easy to do in ProPresenter. So now we're going to configure our screens for the front of house. And by doing this, you have to go up to the top menu, and you're in the ProPresenter window. You're gonna go to screens, and you're gonna want to go to configure screens. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go, and there are several layouts you can take. For instance, our front of house, we have the iMac or the on Roku TV that I use in our studio for a secondary monitor. Super easy to use, super friendly, and you just tell it where to go and it does it. And it will most of the time it will configure the sizes into ProPresenter. If not, you can always do that manually. For lower thirds, to create an NDI output, it's pretty simple. I'm going to get rid of this one so I can show you guys. So once you're here, you just go to add screen in front of house or an audience, new NDI. If you're going to do it over network device or into OBS like we do, you will go to new NDI. I'm going to go up to 180 right there. So a 1920 by 1080 here we've got, and it is automatically set up to say your iMac name. So if you want to change that, if you've got multiple instances of ProPresenter running NDI to something, you don't get confused. So we're going to rename it lower thirds, and that's a pretty simple layout of what to do and in ProPresenter. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but you're not really gonna worry about too much because it is stable. And if you want to rename it here, from just screen 1, we'll go to rename, and we're gonna go to type it as lower thirds. And it's pretty simple, and I'll show you how to specifically make your lower third output different. Now your stage screen will be by default made a certain way. You can change that in settings. Just go to pretty much go to screens and edit looks, and for your this. But anyway, we're gonna focus on that. So I'm gonna go here to screens, edit looks. Now we're going to make your lower thirds look a certain way. First of all, in lower thirds, you're not going to need messages, props. Normally, you're not going to need announcements if it's just for lyrics. The only thing you're going to need is slide, and that's pretty much it. Now, where it says presentation, that column, if you want a certain theme on your lower thirds of lyrics. Now, for me, I'm going to go to stock. I'm going to go to, like, let's see. I'm going to just pick one. I'm going to go to capture and lower thirds. And that will make your personalized lower third output look that certain way. So now when we go review your lower thirds, it will pretty much say all of your lyrics in that certain order. Now, it is super important that we always remember that, hey, our lower thirds will be a bit delayed if we don't have a good network. And if you don't, that's fine. So, at least you have them. For our church, it's delayed sometimes by a millisecond or so, but it sends pretty well. And in OBS, you can go in and get the plugin for OBS. And yeah, that's pretty simple. And it's not really expensive either. So yeah, it's really easy to do, really nice setup, pretty simple thing that you're doing. Here, I'm getting my microphone right. So that is pretty much how to get your lower thirds to look a certain way. Now, in ProPresenter, you've got several layouts or several options you can do. Like we do videos, so I'm going to throw up the youth camp logo. We just did a youth camp on this. That's our lower third. It will show that. This is what our front of house shows. It's completely different. And so each individual audience gets its own point of view. ProPresenter, like I say, is really great software that I think you should just play with it. There is a free trial. It's completely free to download. You can try it out for 14 days on your screens. If you don't love it, you don't need it. So yeah, that's ProPresenter 7. And the next thing I want to show you is how you can pretty much get any of your screens, like I say, your stage screens to look a certain way. So we're going to go to, let's see, I haven't done this in a while. I think it's Edit Layouts. Yep, Edit Layouts. And you can make it look a certain way. You can configure the text a certain way. So I'm going to build a new stage screen for our iMac. And we're going to start out with something simple, so you can choose from these layouts. If you need a clock on one monitor and just a regular verses and stuff on another, that's completely possible. ProPresenter supports as many outputs as you need. And yeah, that's ProPresenter 7 for you. Like I say, if you don't love it, you don't need it, obviously. So completely free to download, try out. I'm going to create our, let's see, I'm going to make us a blank layout so I can show you how to build a certain layout you want. So now that you've got your blank layout, you go here to this add button, click that, and you can click current slide, next slide. So we're obviously going to need a current slide. So yeah, I'm going to add that. That's our current slide, and you can drag it anywhere you want it. Shrink it down wherever you need it. You can even make it to where the box is visible by going and adding stroke, which would definitely increase the viewability, especially if you have like legally blind singers on the stage or vision issues. That will help you determine what is what. And now we're going to go add, that's our current slide text, and we're going to go add a next slide text. So yeah, it's pretty much the same way. Just go to the add button and do it. We're going to do this here. And you've got that. And once again, I'm going to add stroke. You don't have to. It's just, like I say, very dependent on what you want with your experience. It's all dependent on you, whatever you need and whatever you want. Alright, and the next thing we're going to add is, we obviously need a system clock so they can know what what time it is. So I'm going to shrink that down, the box. And I'm going to put it in a certain area of our screen that will make it super friendly to see and use here. Let me go there. And I'm going to add stroke to that so it's viewable. The box is viewable. Alright, so that'll tell them the time. If you need a countdown clock, there's options for that. Certain shape. Or if you want to label that screen, like for a certain person, that this screen is for choir 1 and then this is for choir 2. You can add text, custom text to your screens. Capture status, which we're not going to need. You're not going to need. Audio countdown, blah blah blah, whatever. System clock, video countdown. So we can add that for like if you're running a video on stage for like a sermon series video or even a motion background that I don't know why you'd really need it. But anyway, we're going to add that in just for so you can see kind of what you can do with ProPresenter here. So we're going to go and add a little bit of stroke. There, we've got our video countdown, our system clock, our current slide, and next slide. And if that's all you need, you just built yourself a custom stage view. And you can pretty much put this certain video look anywhere. Whichever screen you need to create, it's always there and always ready and available. So you can even rename it for, like, I'm going to name it second stage, 2 stage. And like I say, really simple to do. ProPresenter makes all this possible. Definitely great. And you can create more audience screens too. So to say you have a blind or legally blind or deaf audience member, and you really want to make sure that they get the best possible experience in your worship, you can go and create new audience screens just like you created your lower third screen and configure it. And it's super simple to make the layout possible. And that's pretty much ProPresenter 7. So adding a background is super easy. So I'm going to go to our youth ministry area, and I'm going to just drag this in as a video somewhere. So I'm going to add, hold on, I'm going to add that video in. I don't know. I'm going to just throw it in there. Actually, no, that video. There we go. And you can just click it, and you'll start that song, and your lyrics will go up, and you create them bigger, smaller. It's so simple with ProPresenter to get all this done on the fly. So if you're a kind of a uninformed media team and you're not really sure what to do, and the pastor comes in and says, we need this done today, and it's like Saturday or Sunday, you can rush in, do whatever you need to do. And yeah, with easy worship you can do that too, but it's a lot of features I wish we could use in ProPresenter. And like I say, we tried it out with our youth camp, and it's so user friendly. Once you get to know the layout, it is obviously for pros. It works like a pro for you, so whatever you need. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it on ProPresenter 7. And I just dropped my phone. Oh well. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching my tutorial. It's not perfect, but what can you say? This is 2021. Nothing's perfect. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this experience, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.